Hello everyone, it's Eric, and this time I'm back to talk about some cassette tapes. So, cassette tapes, what are they good for these days? They're good for playing in the garage or on the deck or in the car. They're actually a really good medium for audiobooks and anything really long form and spoken. I understand a lot of people, there's fidelity questions, there's questions about the durability of cassette tapes, but in today's day when you can find them dirt cheap, a quarter, 50 cents, a buck even, why not check something out via cassette tape? So what I have here is actually a small collection of tapes that I have that are centered around a theme, and that theme is Enigma Records. This is a sealed copy of the Jet Blackberry Sundown and Venus, which I have shown previously. This cassette tape has not only the album Sundown and Venus, but it has the extra tracks that were released originally on a bonus 12-inch LP that came with the record. So I showed the Enigma variations in a recent video. This is the cassette version of it. You can see the, I guess we'll call it the trade dress, the spine there. This is one of the things I look for when I'm looking at cassettes. I look for that white and kind of pinkish looking spine. Enigma was a 80s metal and punk and underground kind of music label. They also put out a lot of soundtracks for things like Terminator and a lot of other films that people don't know. But I like them because they usually had cool stuff. So Tex and the Horseheads, kind of, I have this on LP as well. I got that upside down. There we go. Kind of, 80s heavy metal blues rock with a cowpunk bent. Plastic Land, 80s garage rock psychedelic revival stuff. This is kind of cool. So eventually, and I'm going to point out there that it says Pink Dust. Pink Dust was a subsidiary of Enigma. This is Plan 9, which was another one of those 80s garage rock revival bands. You can see that they simplified the trade dress there at some point. Rocky Erickson, Don't Slander Me. This has got great stuff on it. This has got Don't Slander Me. It's got Burn the Flames. It's got Bermuda. It's got Starry Eyes. Great record. Return of the Living Dead soundtrack, which I have also shown the LP of. This is probably the beginning of my Enigma collection. Good stuff, good stuff. Another copy of the Jet Blackberry Sundown and Venus. So at some point they did change their trade dress. And I'm going through Jet Blackberries really quickly because I'm going to do a whole episode on them at some point because they're one of my favorite bands. But eventually they did start to branch out. You can see the colors change on the spine. Well then, here's the Cramps. Smell a Female on Enigma Records. Cramps Date with Elvis on Enigma Records. So I showed you Enigma Variation 1. By the time they got to Enigma Variation 2, this is what it looked like. What's the spine look like? This one's got Mojo Nixon. It's got TSOL. It's got Dead Milkman, Agent Orange, Plan 9. It's got, who else? SSQ, Game Theory. All kinds of cool stuff on here. Yep. So eventually Enigma was, I guess, absorbed by Restless Records, and you get the 1986 Restless New Music Seminar. And this has got Smithereens, TSOL, Agent Orange, Poison, The Pogues, Jet Blackberries, Mojo Nixon. I believe this is the one that Mojo Nixon actually hosts. So by the time you get to 86, you're going towards something different. And here's another tape I have from Restless just to show you what their spines look like. And this is Elvis Hitler, Disgraceland, kind of 80s psychobilly stuff. Eventually, they were all absorbed by Rykodisc, and this is just a Rykodisc tape to show you what Rykodisc's label looked like. So very quickly, that's a bunch of cassettes. I keep them around. I definitely want to pick up more that have this kind of a spine on them, kind of as collectible. I'm sure I can get them for $1 or $2 each. Anything more than, maybe if they're sealed or something, they'll be a couple of bucks, but good stuff. Why not take a chance on something? And if you don't have a tape deck, you can probably find one at your Goodwill or attached to some CD player or something pretty easily. At this point, I think the lesson learned is don't get rid of the player for any format because you never know. Look at all this VHS I've got here. So anyways, moving on to the next thing, which is band you should know about. In this case, it's an album you should know about. All you metalheads out there, talking to you. This is The Hookers. Black Visions of Crimson Wisdom. This came out in the 90s. This is very much a 70s Sabbathy hard rock, heavy metal album. It's really good. You should check it out. Okay, so if you like what I'm doing here, subscribe, share the videos, like. Yes, I am reading off the wall there. Leave comments. Let me know what you like and what you don't like, what you have questions about. I do a podcast called Love That Album, where I do a compilation edition once a month, which is about 20 minutes to 30 minutes of me talking about compilations. And then on the main show, sometimes I'm on the main show as the one of the co-hosts, but generally I do a short 10-minute segment called Love, an album I love, where I just talk about something like this, an album that I love. Thoughts? I want to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching and enjoy.